Auburn Blitz is now on the air. Your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into the Auburn Blitz here on this Tuesday. Brett and Randy here with you for your lunch hour, and we're glad that you joined us. Our program brought to you by Russell Do It Center and Building Supply Stores, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, and Sense-A-Green for air that's cool and clean. Call on Sense-A-Green. Randy, good to see you. We got everything kicked off this morning, but we got a ton to discuss here on the show today. Bulls portal error, NIL. We don't lack for things to talk about, and now that Auburn has been hard at it in the portal, and they picked up 8 guys in basically a couple of days when you go back to the weekend, and had a big get yesterday, had brought in 4 more guys and signed them. We're going to dive into them, specifically here, but thought we had a good podcast this morning. Had a lot of great comments on that. I don't want to start off on a negative term, but this stuff getting exhausting, man. And, Gary Harris, a good friend of ours, I was on the phone with him last night. I don't think you'd mind me sharing this. He's coming at it from the Alabama perspective. Randy, everybody's worn out from it. I mean, it changes within 24 hours. A guy that you literally could have in your office one day, the next day could be in the portal, and you just talked to him, and you thought everything was fine. Everything was going well. And there is no police to all this. There are no rules. There are no regulations. There are no standards to follow. So it's just Wild West. People just offering everybody's players whatever they feel like they can go out. And if they can entice them away, they're going to try to do it.
And you have to. You've got to compete under the standards that are set. And right now, if you're not going to have somebody setting any standards, then you're just the wild, wild west, as you said. And at least when you look down for it from an Auburn perspective, let's talk about it from an Auburn perspective. I told you this morning, Auburn fans, you may get a little bit upset when a couple of our guys go.
Sure.
But for the most part, you take basketball right now. Auburn's going to throw 4 out of 5 starters on the court tonight that are transfers into Auburn. The only one that's going to have come to Auburn to begin with that we didn't pull off the transfer portal, I know it wasn't necessarily called the portal when we got Janai Broome, but the only starter that we're going to throw out there is Dylan Cardwell. Mm-hmm. And the next couple of key guys that we're going to pull off the bench are all guys that not necessarily we brought in ourselves. So you've got to learn to play the game. And you've got to hope that you've got somebody like Bruce Pearl that's in charge, that knows how to play that game and can keep the guys that he deems necessary around. That's the thing you've been saying all morning that I'll back you on, is you've got to go in and look at this and say, okay, I thought a lot of Amaris Williams, okay? I'd love for him to stay at Auburn. I think his ceiling's really high. But I don't know what it costs. I don't know what leverage we hold on our end if we can't pay him top dollar that he's being offered by somebody else. An edge rusher for somebody else may be worth more than what we've got here based off of the talent we got in that room. I don't know. Brett, you have to play all of those games, and you can say, how do you do it? Right now I don't know how to do it exactly, but I know that the ones that can play the game well are the ones that are going to win. That's the reason Auburn's winning.
Well, that's right. They're all facing the same problem, though. You're never going to stop. It's human nature for you to be getting what you get paid. And if you're not on contract and you were already here and they bring somebody in at a higher dollar, they're going to look at you and go, am I not worth that?
Yeah.
Did I not do that? So it's up and down the roster for everybody. It ain't just us. It's Ohio State. It's Oregon. It's Alabama. It's everybody. There's nobody immune to this. So you build a roster and you go, oh, man, we're in good shape finally. And then you go out and you got some guys that graduated. Believe it or not, people actually still graduate. Did y'all know that? Anybody heard of anybody going to a class in the last 3 or 4 years?
All of them on Auburn's basketball program, by the way.
Exactly. So they do graduate. They do graduate. We don't hear anything about that, though. It's kind of just cast to the side like it's not important. So now you're trying to police all this stuff, and you're trying to fill in gaps of people that you lost, And then when you fill those gaps in, you piss people off on your roster. That you're like, well, man, I thought I deserve that. And so now they take their ball and they go somewhere else. And then you have to have more clamoring and begging from adults to go into kids and beg them to stay if they deem it necessary. Now, if they don't feel like they're worth the begging and the pleading, they'll let them walk and they'll go try their talent somewhere else. But then we also see thousands of kids that go in the portal every year that don't land anywhere. You know, that they think they're worth this, and then they find out they're really not. And then you see deals like this kid from Texas Tech, and we saw what Texas Tech supposedly gave him. That's leaked out from last year, and the dude caught eight passes for 123 yards and didn't score a single point this year for him. You know, at some point in time, common sense has got to kick in. The good business people don't operate businesses like this, man. And everybody's talking about it now. And you're hearing more and more people, the money people going, hold on a minute. You know, I got to get an ROI on this, or I'm not going to keep feeding you guys tons and tons of money. And so when the money train stops, then all these high-dollar deals that have no binding, by the way, which is the problem, get cut off. And, you know, I hate it. I don't want to see anything bad happen, but, I mean, good luck to you, just like the rest of us in the real world out there in trying to figure out what you're going to do to make a living, because you ain't going to have a line of people. And then we heard somebody tell us too, Randy, remember, that players, when they get out of college, they've been so used to getting this stuff, and then they don't make it in the pros. They end up broke, man, in 2 years. And then there's a prominent guy that we know from Alabama, and it was a great player. I'm not going to name his name. He ain't got a dollar to his name now.
Well, that's always been an issue. And you take a 17 to a 21-year-old kid and you make them make a lot of really difficult decisions, because, unfortunately, there are examples of kids that leave and go somewhere else, and it was the best decision they ever made.
Right.
I can make an argument that Bo Nix is one of those.
No, that's 100%. But I think those are outlier situations.
That's the difficult part, though, is you do have examples where those decisions really helped somebody. So if there are examples like that, everyone that has that type of talent thinks, well, I'm the next one up. I'm the next one that just needs to find the right spot to go to, and I'm going to get my opportunity. I brought this up to you this morning, but we'll do it on the television side now. The difficult part is, let's take a player like Connor Lew, who is our center. We wouldn't trade Connor Lew for anyone, would we, at center now?
No.
I mean, you'd have to argue with me and know a little bit more than I do about other players for me to decide that he's not going. And I'm not using him. This is not a specific at all. I'm just using an Auburn player as an example. Well, we had to go on the transfer portal market to pick up a left tackle, and, buddy, we needed him. Well, I don't know about you, but Virginia Tech's program's as good as ours right now. You can have an argument on whether we're better than them historically. I don't care one way or another who won that argument. I'm just saying that Virginia Tech's been equal to us.
In the present, yes.
In the present. And so for us to go over there and get him away from a Virginia Tech team that he started every game the last couple of years, honorable mention all conference, we had to pay him, don't you think?
No question. And you had to turn around and pay Mason Murphy too, because he's another highly talented
So
talent.
here's my biggest concern about what's going on. It's not the players that aren't being successful. I'm not asking for a quality of outcome here. I'm not asking for that. This is not an equity discussion. I don't believe in any of that anyway. What I do believe in is, if you've been performing and you're under a deal, that just because you don't go market yourself to somebody else and get top dollar for what you're worth out there on the open market, then you're not using the leverage that you have. That's where the difficulty is, Brett. Because if I'm sitting there and I've been a 2-year starter and I'm one of the captains and I'm one of them that's leaned on, I'm not throwing this out there hoping that anything negative comes towards Auburn with this, but I'd have a problem with it if they come in and then they're receiving 2 or 3 times what my deal is.
That's not human nature.
And you can't tell me that's not going on.
It is
at a lot of these schools.
It's absolutely going on, and it's only going to get worse. I mean, when everybody wants theirs, I mean, everybody can't get paid $3 million. Everybody can't, but everybody in their mind.
But you expect the kid that does have a lot of leverage not to go use it.
No, I don't. I've already said that 1,000 times. I don't blame the kid playing the game that he's been told to play. I mean, we'd all be dumb if at the end of the day that's our goal, is to make as much money as we can for ourselves and our family. That say, no, you know what? I just don't feel right about that, so I'm just gonna when everybody else is doing it. So no. But what you're doing is you're creating dissension amongst your teammates. You're creating dissension in the program, not intentionally, because I think everybody in there would say, man, I don't blame that guy for doing that.
Yeah.
Because I would if I were in his shoes, but I deserve something too. And then it becomes this, well, how much do you need? And guess what happens next year? I want some more. And guess what else you got to do? You got to bring in new players next year. It doesn't stop, man. It's like when Gary and I talked last night and you brought it up on the podcast this morning. When you donate to a capital project and they ask you for money and you donate $10 million, you go, okay, that's over. And that project's over and that building's going to be there for 80 years. But guess what happens with NIL? It
Never
just keeps
ends.
on coming and coming. Hey, I got $3 million this year for our collective. Guess what? Next year I'm going to need 4. And next year I'm going to need 5. And then I just going to have to keep paying the ones that are on the roster. And then, like you said this, Auburn better buckle up after this year. I love Bruce Pearl to death, but we're going to lose the entire roster. How much is it going to cost to replace all these guys, man? Auburn better take advantage of this year. Yeah, I'm just telling you. Because if you want to put blue chips and 5 stars back on your roster, Auburn's going to have to put a boatload on there, and it's going to cost a lot of money. And so it's going to probably take us 2 or 3 years to build back up. And I may be wrong. I mean, because we do have an outstanding coach, and he may be able to go out in the portal and find the right pieces and all. But you can't do all of it that way. And Auburn's just in a special circumstance this year where it all fell together with Bruce Pearl being able to keep guys, the NIL working, and going out and getting a pretty good high school class with 2 really, really good players in Ja'Kai Howard and Todd Pettiford, and then adding the remaining pieces through the portal. We're going to lose 10 or 11 guys next year, man. It's 2 basketball teams. So we're number 1 in the country. I know we're not technically, but we are number 1, and some stats we'll dive into here in just a minute. It's amazing. This basketball team is amazing. Just getting started here on the Auburn Blitz.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Presley Appliance and Furniture, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, is locally owned and operated with over 35 years of experience in the appliance and furniture business. Specializing in Amana, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Ashley Furniture, Presley Appliance services what they sell and will make sure you receive top-notch customer service. Call them today at 256-329-9762 or drop by to see them on Cherokee Road in Alexander City. Presley Appliance and Furniture, where they service what they sell.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes. They're installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
Get ready to rev up your fall with Adams Motorsports in Montgomery. This season, experience the thrill of the open road like never before. From sleek motorcycles to powerful ATVs to versatile side-by-sides, we've got everything you need to fuel your passion for adventure. Whether Polaris, Suzuki, or Kawasaki, Adams sells and services the best. Go to where the journey begins. Visit us today or online for more information. From East Alabama's first family of power sports, Adams Motorsports of Montgomery.
Lake Martin Mobile Detailing is the #1 auto and boat detailing company in Central Alabama. Don't trust your boat or vehicle to just anybody. Hire the professionals. Top-of-the-line ceramic coating, detailing, gel coat restoration, and paint correction gives you the options to take care of your vehicle the right way. Located at 702 McCarty Road in Dadeville, Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have you riding in style. Call them today at 256-794-2328 for Superior Automotive and Boat Detailing.
We're hammering down high prices at Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. New full-size GMC Sierras discounted up to $12,000 off. GMC Terrains with a roomy cabin and pro safety discounted up to $7,250 off. Enjoy the holidays with no payments until springtime. Choose from 600 new and used vehicles on the lot or on the way. GlennSmith.com. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Let's go back, or actually go to the phone lines for the first time. Eric McKinley, Mortgage Pro Hotline, and welcome in Larry. Larry, what's up, buddy?
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. How you doing, sir?
Hey, we're good. Go ahead, brother.
Good. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't we supposed to be getting this quarterback from Mississippi, supposed to have been a 4 or 5 star?
We did. We got him. Deuce Knight.
What's his name?
Deuce Knight.
Yeah, okay. So he's coming to Auburn, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I thought we were just depending on this quarterback supposed to be coming in from Oklahoma that got beat out for his job.
Well, I don't know if he got beat out for his job. They had some problems in Oklahoma this year, and you know, when your offense is struggling, it's always easy to blame the QB and put all the.
That's true.
So
that's true. And another thing I want to address, we definitely gonna need a running back to take Hunter plays because Cobb and Austin, they ain't gonna be able to carry that load.
Well, we do have Darrell Robinson that we just signed from Connecticut. Big time running back there.
Really?
So, yeah, in the transfer portal. We're going to go through all these guys that we just brought in here in just a second, Larry. So if you want to stay tuned, I'm going to go down the list.
Okay, I got one more question to ask you before you get out the air.
Yep.
Is Auburn game going to be televised tonight?
SEC Network, I believe. I'll double-check it and make sure.
At what time?
7 o'clock tip.
Yep, 7 o'clock. It's Georgia State. It will be on SEC. No, it's going to actually be on SEC Network Plus and ESPN Plus. So it won't be on the regular SEC Network, but it will be at 7 o'clock. So unless you have SEC Network Plus or ESPN Plus, you won't be able to watch it.
Oh, okay. Well, I won't be able to watch that then. Okay,
all right, thank you, Larry.
I just want to address those three
Appreciate it, Larry.
right quick, and I thank y'all for y'all time.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you, as always. So, yeah, ESPN and SEC Network Plus.
And let me give Larry an update on how Deuce Knight, the commit, did this past weekend at the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game. Passed for about 180 yards and a touchdown. and also rushed for 140 yards and another touchdown. He was the MVP for Mississippi. And just to give you for instance, I mean, Team Alabama only had 20 yards rushing in the ball game. Deuce Knight had 140 himself.
That's right.
And he had to split time back there at quarterback.
They only got out 2 possessions because when they found out, I don't know who that other kid was. I'm not. They tried that twice, and you talking about Deadsville. They said the coach said, "I tell you what, we're about to do. We're about to leave Deuce Knight in on every offensive possession," and it was smart. Hey, look, I'm not going to say it cost them the game, but there was a chance Deuce Knight probably could have scored on one of those 2 possessions. And he went on the field. So, and they ended up losing 35-29.
But he had a great outing.
He did.
Checked all boxes when you watch. If you're wanting a dual threat guy, he's tall, he's 6'4", 6'5", lefty, got a very live arm, and can really, really run the football. And I love the way he carries himself out there. He's got a lot of confidence and can make plays out of nothing. So we were getting a great one. If Hugh Freeze doesn't develop him, I give up.
Well, you don't sell out on not giving up.
I still give up. Look, I bought into Walker White last year, and he hadn't even there 12 months before he's gone. So I'm saying it loud and clear right now. If we can't take Deuce Knight and make something out of him,
trust me, I watched every bit of that game, and I'm enamored there. So Steve Stevens said currently watching 30 for 30 on SMU football, paying players. Initially, SMU was busted for giving a recruit $5,000 in an apartment for a recruit's family. My, how times have changed. No kidding. Jason said War Eagle from down in East Bruton. Look, let me just read this off. And again, this it's supposedly the deal that this kid received from
Texas Tech.
And the kid I'm talking about is Micah Hudson. And his alleged – now, by the way, his stats this year were 8 catches for 123 yards and 0 touchdowns. But, again, at the time they felt like this is a guy we've got to have. So, supposedly they paid $700,000 in a minimum wire up front for 1-year deal to sign immediately. In a separate NIL deal for 3 cars for family members. Personal driver – with Cadillac SUV for Micah from spring practice through the end of the season. Family hotel and travel arrangements paid each game with up to 10 members to have travel, tickets, and costs paid for. And medical injury time off and playing after injury determined only by Micah and his family. 8 catches, 123 yards, zilch for scores. I'd say he'd be less than an impact player this year for Texas Tech.
Which is the reason that you've got to trust your coaching staff the way that they want to spend the money and be hopeful that you've got a Bruce Pearl type that makes the right decision on what to spend it on, Brett, because we're all sitting out there, especially these high school guys coming in.
Right.
We're all sitting out there hoping that what we're seeing is going to turn into greatness on the field because you've got to play that money game up front. You can't get them here. We'd like to act like we live in some utopian society where Arnold's going to show up to Auburn because he just loves Jordan-Hare Stadium and we've got to pony up a lot of money to go get a guy that a lot of other programs out there want. And I suspect we did pony up a lot of money to get Jackson Arnold.
Yeah, we did. Nobody's coming to a school because they want to be there and love it. It's a business deal. Period. End of discussion. I hate to kill all of y'all's fantasy world hopes about they're coming because they love the tradition of rolling Toomer's Corner or they want to go walk the champions in Alabama. That's about what that boils down to. You're pulling for a color of jersey, but the kid in it, it's a business transaction. And you better look at it that way because in 12 months, there's a really good chance they won't even be there. If they don't get what they think they need, they're going to go find it somewhere else or go try to find it somewhere else. So the love for Auburn and Alabama and Georgia and everybody barking over there in Athens, don't care. It's all about what you're going to give me, and that's just the simplicity of it. It's the only way I know to say it. All right, up against another break. Stay tuned. More to come right after this.
Turn to the experts at Sensagreen and find out how to get up to $1,000 in carrier cool cash rebates. Visit Sensagreen.com today to be worry-free when it comes to your home comfort and indoor air quality.
For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe. Call Sensagreen.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
Presley Appliance and Furniture, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, is locally owned and operated with over 35 years of experience in the appliance and furniture business. Specializing in Amana, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Ashley Furniture, Presley Appliance services what they sell and will make sure you receive top-notch customer service. Call them today at 256-329-9762 or drop by to see them on Cherokee Road in Alexander City. Presley Appliance and Furniture, where they service what they sell.
Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply is your headquarters for all the brands contractors know best. We are your local home improvement store with 9 convenient locations throughout central Alabama. We have a huge selection of Weber and Traeger, Pelican coolers, Milwaukee and DeWalt tools, and other top brands. No matter the project, we have you covered with our high-quality lumber and building supplies. From do-it-yourselfers to seasoned pros, Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply has what you need to get the job done.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
The results are in, and Game Day Men's Health in Auburn has delivered. The certified medical team at Game Day Men's Health wants to help you feel better. Text 334-209-3706 to set up your free testosterone check and consult. Results back in as little as 15 minutes. Tired of feeling tired? Text 334-209-3706 to Game Day Men's Health in Auburn. They make you feel better.
Lake Martin Mobile Detailing is the #1 auto and boat detailing company in Central Alabama. Don't trust your boat or vehicle to just anybody. Hire the professionals. Top-of-the-line ceramic coating, detailing, gel coat restoration, and paint correction gives you the options to take care of your vehicle the right way. Located at 702 McCarty Road in Dable, Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have you riding in style. Call them today at 256-794-2328 or Superior Automotive and Boat Detailing.
J.A. Smith Construction, licensed general contractor and your trusted choice for land clearing and grading, site work, underground utilities, concrete paving, and material hauling. They also do storm drain installations, fish ponds, and slough dredging. Call Alexander at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. No job is too big or too small for J.A. Smith Construction, the top choice for all of your land service needs.
Chick-fil-A is always the best option when you're on the go, but they are also great when it comes to planning your next event, from tailgating to birthday parties to weddings. Call Chick-fil-A Alexander City at 256-289-7955 for catering or order on the Chick-fil-A app. Make sure to choose the Alexander City location and have your catering order ready to go. Nugget trays, mac and cheese trays, fruit trays, cookie trays, gallons of our famous lemonade or tea, and chilled grilled chicken sub sandwiches, and a lot more options. Make it Chick-fil-A Alexander City for your next event. Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Halfway through our program, brought to you by Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply Stores, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, and Sensagreen. I want to remind everybody, now is the time to be preparing and planning for what you're going to do for Christmas. And Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine down on East Glen or in Pepper Tree in Montgomery. Make sure you go call on them today. They've got their Christmas specials going on, 3 options for you to pick from. Just outstanding. You got the prime rib, the fillets, or the beef tenderloin with all the sides that go with it for 4 to 6 people, depending on how much you're needing. So call on Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Plus, they always have their weekly specials, and you cannot beat their steaks, their chicken, everything they have, their pork chops, their ribs. It's all phenomenal. So go down and check them out in East Glen and Auburn and in Pepper Tree in Montgomery. Luke said, sounds like that wide receiver from Texas Tech is a hell of a businessman. Well, he did. He signed a great deal. And, again, if you're basing off of performance, Texas Tech didn't get their money's worth for sure. Ed said the idiot Charlie Baker, the NCAA president. You remember that show where we all said, does anybody know who the NCAA president is? And nobody knew it. We had to look it up. And Charlie Baker,
I wouldn't have remembered it now.
I didn't remember his name. Is up in D.C. today asking Congress to make some rules for them so players can sue Congress instead of the NCAA. He and Emirates have poo-pooed the bed on every decision they have ever made.
They just have no backbone. They're not strong enough leaders to get anybody to defend any of the decisions that they make.
What power did they ever have, though, is the question.
Well, but you got to get somebody in a leadership role there, and I said it this morning.
But I don't know what power that organization really ever had.
Well, you got to give it to them. So, the SEC, the Big Ten, the Big 12, those conferences, unless they want to keep going down this path, they've got to give power to somebody to clean it up. Now, if they want it just to be a free-for-all and us to keep sitting up here for the next decade and talking
they want to say they have power, but then when they come knocking on the door to police some of their said institutions, they run them off.
Well, then just don't complain. If you're the SEC and you don't give the NCAA or someone like that power and make sure that you're hiring the right person that can lead this thing, then don't complain. Just keep going down the path that we're on, because until you give somebody power and they go to Congress and they go to other places, we keep hearing the Congress thing.
Right.
I mean, Bruce Pearl has said it over and over again. It'll never get corrected until they get involved.
They have to have some type of regulation. Look, I hate to say it that it's this simple, but just initiate contracts, man. Like, I just said it. Was I off, Randy, when I just said
no,
these people are coming to play for your school because of a business decision? They didn't come choose Auburn because they have longed for being able to play in Jordan-Hare Stadium. I mean, those days are over, man. These people didn't grow up pulling for these schools. They go make a decision based off the dollar sign that they're able to get, how much they can get. You know how you can tell if that's the truth or not? Take the money away and see if they show up.
They wouldn't show up anywhere.
They wouldn't be anywhere. They wouldn't be going anywhere. How many is going to fly to the Pacific Northwest to play for Oregon in some of the drabbest weather in the world for nothing? Because you get a bunch of free uniforms and a bunch of shoes. That ain't going to fly. It's great, but you better be getting paid, and that's what Phil Knight's doing. It's how he's bringing people to Oregon. I mean, I hate to be like this, but let's all stop being naive and acting like, oh, well, these things are the same as they were 25 years ago. They're not. And, yeah, were people getting paid underneath the table? Yeah, they were. But this is a whole different level. You can't even compare the Albert Means and of the world and these stories that used to break about, kids getting paid a couple $100,000 and stuff to go play for a school, and then a team getting put on probation when they get caught. Man, $200,000 is like blowing your nose in the wind. Now, I mean, there ain't nothing to $200,000. It's a lot of money still to a lot of people, including us up here. But they throw those kind of figures around like nothing.
Well, to compete in the current setup, it is nothing. And it did used to be something, and maybe it will be again. But my point that I just went back to you on, until you give somebody the power and trust somebody can make the proper decision, this ain't going to get fixed.
I don't know what else. I don't know where you go to get the power. I don't know who you're going to give them. I mean, the NCAA was established to be that body, and they have none. They've been rendered useless, and it's because they've made bad decisions. Let me say this. I think people respected the NCAA until they just continued to make one bonehead, stupid decision after another.
Well, they stood on no principle.
Well, right, and it just varied from one.
Yes.
And they felt like, schools felt like there were certain schools that had, favoritism and others didn't. And so.
We saw it in basketball. It's the reason when all that was going down with Bruce Pearl, you and I sat up here and said, better not have anybody call into our show complaining about it.
Boy, did all that die or not? It's
deader than a doornail because we weren't doing anything. We were finally doing what everyone else was trying to do.
Well, we stood up for ourselves and fought back, which Cliff Ellis.
We tried not to.
Cliff Ellis tried to do that, and they ran him out of town.
That ignorant leadership that we had in place in that athletic department almost screwed the Bruce Pearl era.
Oh, he absolutely
That's
did.
how stupid leadership we had at one point in time.
And again, they were coming out, and again, all these FBI stuff and all that, we stood tall in the face of that. And now, you almost feel sorry for Chuck Person and some of these people.
Oh, of course.
Because they got absolutely hosed and absolutely sacrificed for everybody else.
Amen.
And everybody's like, well, boy, everybody better watch out, man. The Blue Bloods, they about to get them. The FBI guy standing up there pointing the finger. Where's that guy at? Anybody seen him? Where did all that stuff go on with Arizona and all those tapes and stuff? Anybody heard anybody in that anymore?
Zilch.
I just got swept away, didn't it? Okay. I know there were some coaches that had a little bit of fallout. The LSU coach, Will Wade, and Rick Pitino maybe, but they're back coaching again. Ain't nothing happening to them. That was a big bunch of nothing. Period. Nothing. All right. We got to take a break. Stay tuned. More to come right after this.
This is Joseph Dean with Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory. I am pleased to announce that Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation is now open to serve the public at our location on the corner of 49 North and 280 West in Dadeville. Please stop by and see lifelong resident of Dadeville, Molly Kaler, who will be running the office and meeting with families who want to plan ahead and pre-need their services. We are also available by phone 256-750-0381 or online at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
Bucks Island is your boating headquarters. Are you ready to hit the water and go boating this summer? Bucks Island has all kinds of boats with one sure to fit exactly what you want. Fishing boats, sport boats, pontoon boats, and all with low monthly payments. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Bucks Island Service Department experts are also here for you to keep your boat in top running condition. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Don't be left standing on the bank this summer. Visit online at bucksisland.com and don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life. EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area. Go ahead and mark your calendars, sports fans. The Alabama State games are returning to the Magic City of Birmingham, Jefferson County, and surrounding communities June 13th through the 15th, 2025. We're talking about 20-plus sports open to athletes of all ages and abilities. The 42nd Alabama State games will be something to behold. Mark your calendars now and be ready to go when registration opens. Visit allagames.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more exciting announcements.
When you want quality, selection, price, superior financing, and a pain-free buying experience, look no further than Sons Automotive Group of Montgomery and Auburn. Sons of Montgomery offers the best selection of Kias, Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Ram trucks. Conveniently located on Eastern Boulevard, Sons Ford of Auburn is the region's Ford volume dealer. And when you shop at any Sons location, they will maximize all incentives and financing options for anyone's credit. Whether Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram in Montgomery, or Ford in Auburn, Sons Automotive treats you like family because they are family driven.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Here, a couple segments left on today's show. Let's dive in. Transfer portal, man, we all know that this is the world we got to live in. We got to cover this. And it's just the way it is. So you got to compete, and Auburn's doing it. Over the weekend, Jackson Arnold was the big name. While we were on Saturday Sports Countdown, that news broke, so we were able to tell everybody about that the last 30 minutes of our show on Saturday. Auburn also adds Ashton Daniels from Stanford, kids originally from Georgia, from Buford, and, coming closer to home. And, he tweeted out he's not just coming over here he's going to compete hard, and he said he's going to do everything he can to make Auburn proud, and he's excited about being here. Then you got an addition of two massive tackles, 6'7", 323-pound Xavier Chaplin and 6'5", 315-pound Mason Murphy. Both were highly touted, and both have had pretty good careers up until this point. I think they're going to be massive additions, no pun intended, to this Auburn offensive line. The question was what was going to happen with the running back room with Jarquez Hunter. You got Darrell Robinson from UConn and from Charlotte. He's transferred twice now. So he'll be coming over from UConn, 6'1", 210 pounds. He was one of the highest sought-after running backs in the portal, so he was Auburn able to get him. And then you add a couple secondary guys in today or yesterday, and Tay Seymour from Georgia Tech and Rayon Strader from Miami, Ohio. So you got a couple guys there, and you had a punter from Oklahoma State that's a transfer. So Auburn been really busy in the portal. Some have Auburn ranked the number 1 portal class. Some other ones have them ranked 2. Some others have them ranked 3. So regardless, they're getting it done, going out filling these gaps.
And so far, we've held on to everybody that I feel like we want. There's a buzz out there on Amaris Williams, but I don't think that is completely done with so far. At least I'm hoping that it's not, because I do think his ceiling's really, really high, Brett. But we've held on. I know we've lost, 12 transfers, and we've picked up 8 so far. There's more that we're looking to pick up. I know that there's a buzz out there that there are a few more that may be leaving, but the difference between the rankings and the ratings of those 8 that we picked up between those and the 12 that we lost is not even close.
Right.
Now, a lot of those 12 that we're losing are young guys that just haven't had a chance to play much, so it's hard to say how they end up, wherever they end up. But I like what we're doing. Buddy, we're having to spend money. I can look down through here, and there's no doubt in my mind that Auburn is spending money with the best of them with some of these guys, because you don't get tackles without spending money, Brett. You don't get a quarterback that a lot of other people wanted without spending money. They don't just show up on your campus because you smile and you roll out the red carpet. You've got to be competitive. And if you're an Auburn fan it's not your money going out, just be happy that it is, and maybe things will turn around in the short term.
All right, Ashton Daniels, like I said, he tweeted out yesterday. He said, I'm so excited. Deuce, obviously, with all his accolades and everything he's done, he's going to be an excellent quarterback. For me to say that I had a part of his journey and sharing with him and my experiences and helping him grow as a quarterback and a person, super excited for. Same with Jackson. Jackson is a great player. We actually played baseball against each other in Little League when we were in Georgia. So we have a connection. I'm excited to reconnect with him, just compete with him and learn from each other and grow with each other. That's Ashton Daniels on coming into this quarterback room.
Well, it's the funny part about being or living in this world that we live in. So many travel ball attorneys and so many opportunities to meet and be around kids that were completely different where we lived and grew up just 25 years ago. And it's part of the reason even on the high school ranks you see so many guys transferring around, Brett.
Yeah.
You know these guys? We look at Parker High School this year. I'm not beating around the bush. How many of those Parker kids transferred out of another program and found their way to that school in Birmingham?
Over 25.
So you can like it or dislike it, but it happened. And they won a state championship for the first time in school history, and they were coached up really, really well, and you and I on the broadcast bragged on them while we watched them. So a lot of people don't like it, and I understand your reasoning for. But if you're not, you better be developing out of this world if you're going to compete with what happens on at some of these schools now.
Hey, look, bona fide moves. If kids recruit other kids, they meet the specifications of getting there the right way.
Yep.
Then there ain't nothing you can say about it, man. Now, if you got a bunch of people transient moving in, not following the rules, that's different. Okay, but the HSA is tasked with that. They have to police that. And somebody has to make noted of school if they feel like they're not abiding by that. It's not mine and your call.
That's right.
And it's not somebody on Twitter, assuming something. Now, do we know that stuff's going on? Yeah, it is all over the place. But it's not our job up here point a finger at that. And the schools that are suffering because of the other schools doing things are the ones that have to do the turning in.
That's their job.
And they have to do that.
It's my job to call a spade, and a spade is that they're finding really good programs with great coaches.
They find
and great
absolutely
leaders
right
and good talent around them, and it's paying off, like it or dislike it.
All right, come back. We'll talk about Josh Aldridge. Obviously, premier, assistant coach on this staff. Has emerged as one of the leading targets for the East Carolina defense coordinator job. And that's the whole goal. You move up the ranks. No different than the kids wanting to maybe go somewhere and enhance what they're doing. So, all right, up against our final break. Stay tuned. One final segment right after this.
J.A. Smith Construction, licensed general contractor and your trusted choice for land clearing and grading, site work, underground utilities, concrete paving, and material hauling. They also do storm drain installations, fish ponds, and slough dredging. Call Alexander at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. No job is too big or too small for J.A. Smith Construction, the top choice for all of your land service needs.
For air that's cool and clean, call Sensi Green. For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Sensi Green.
Turn to the experts at Sensigreen and find out how to get up to $1,000 in carrier cool cash rebates. Visit Sensigreen.com today to be worry-free when it comes to your home comfort and indoor air quality.
For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Sensi Green.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama. Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
Go ahead and mark your calendars, sports fans. The Alabama State Games are returning to the Magic City of Birmingham, Jefferson County, and surrounding communities June 13th through the 15th, 2025. We're talking about 20-plus sports open to athletes of all ages and abilities. The 42nd Alabama State Games will be something to behold. Mark your calendars now and be ready to go when registration opens. Visit alagames.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more exciting announcements. Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz final segment here on the program. Again, I want to thank everybody for joining us. I want to thank Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply Stores, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, and Sensa Green for being our corporate partners here on the program. Josh Aldridge's been here for 2 years, working his way up, Auburn linebacker coach, and then coached the edge position this year. And you look at the development, Randy, you talk about we talked about it all year. This Auburn defense got better and better as the year went on. And, DeMarcus Riddick, Joe Phillips, DJ Barber, was the key recruiter for all three of those guys. Also now Jared Smith and Hezekiah Harris. He's had an integral part in this, a big-time recruiter and the development on the defensive side of the football. But Aldridge has emerged as a top target for East Carolina's defensive coordinator position. And it is the expectation by a lot of guys at On3 and 24/7 that he will be hired in that position. So that'd be a big loss for Auburn.
Yeah, big loss. Someone that is really good in the recruiting market is hard to find. And, that is the beauty of what Hugh Freeze is doing right now is he's putting some great recruiters around him. And he's getting production from the coaching staff on the defensive side. So I don't blame anyone that looks at those guys defensively that are getting those guys in there and then coaching them up well on the field. You lose them. When you have success, You lose. It's unfortunate we haven't seen the win column go up based off of the play that we've seen on the defensive side of the ball the last few years.
Yep, no doubt about it. All right, let's talk about tonight. Really I hate to say it, it'll be a go through the motions game for Auburn basketball wise. Tonight, Georgia State comes in with a 4-6 record. Auburn's 9-1, and according to the net rankings NCAA just put out, Auburn is the number 1 team in the country. I think we all, taking our orange and blue glasses off, this is the best basketball team in the country. Does that mean they'll win a national championship? No. Does it mean they'll have a good chance? Yes. I read off that stat to you where they fall in the line of teams all time since they've been really keeping up with analytics and all on team. They're in high regard compared to some Villanova teams, some Connecticut teams, some Kentucky teams, some Duke teams of the past, some of the best teams ever. This Auburn basketball team ranks as high or higher than any of those teams.
Got a great chance. Of course, we haven't hit SEC play, and the SEC is really tough top to bottom, but 5 out of the top 10 teams sitting in here in the SEC and the number 1 ranked team. Right in front of us, sitting there at number 2 is Tennessee, and we've had their number for the most part, I feel like, over the last 7 to 10 years, but we know what kind of product that they put out there on the court. It's been equal to us. And there's only 3 or 4 teams here in the SEC I can say that about over the last 7 to 10 years. So it's an amazing time to be a college basketball fan in the state of Alabama, and it's not stopping anytime soon. So we got everything in front of us. I'll be there tonight with my fam, and they've been so much fun to go to. Even these games, you know that you're going to win easily. It's great crowds, great fan support, and great student support, and it's come a long way since
don't take it for granted.
The Tony Barbee days.
Don't ever take it for granted, because it can go away quickly. I mean, that's for anybody. All right, here's something that everybody wants to know roster-wise. What does it cost in college football? I'm going to shift back over to NIL for just a second. Shannon Terry, who is the founder of On3, tweeted this out. College football rosters are churning. The consensus thought of total roster value right now is $17 to $22 million for the elites, and will not, and it will not prevent rosters from continuing to churn. It may just speed it up. 10 to 12% of that going to the quarterback, up to 15% with 2 on the roster. NFL rosters carry at $200 to $250 million annually. College football rosters will eventually settle in somewhere around the 30 to 35 million, and that is where the churn will slow down and depth value is recognized without transferring. That's his take on it.
So we're only halfway there.
Yeah, we're not even halfway there
So
yet.
back to the conversation you and I had this morning, the thing that is so needed with contracts is that leverage position's going up every year, correct?
Right.
So if I get X receiver out of the high school ranks and I get him to commit to my school, and let's say we pay him $250,000 a year, well, you're going to have to go in the transfer portal and get the Singletons of the world. And that Singleton number is $1 million a year. So how do you keep that $250,000 a year guy happy to stay around your school? And then you take the quarterback. You better get it right. You told me, I don't know if the number's right, but it's $2.5 million to get Jackson Arnold in?
Yep.
Is that what you've heard?
I think that's what I heard, yep.
Those numbers right there say that's where it is.
Sounds like it's
if Auburn this next year is going to spend, and I bet we are, on the top half of those big-time schools, you're going to spend anywhere between $22 and $25 million. 1/10 of that's going to who you deem as your quarterback.
Right.
That would be that $2.5 million mark, and that's not even saying what it costs to go get Deuce Knight. I don't even know where to begin to go get a talent like him, Brett. Would you?
Right. I don't know what the going rate of a quarterback coming out of high school is versus one coming out of a portal that already has stats. So, again,
it's got to be high.
Yeah, but it may not be as high as you think. It's high, but it may not be as high as you think.
I bet it's not less than $1 million.
It's probably around that range. I would say $700,000 to $1 million. $700,000.
And I bet it's a multi-year deal. I bet you can't get them unless you commit.
You really need to do that, but then are they committed to you?
They don't have to commit to anything because there's no contract. Yeah, but so
it's got to have some type of being able to hold people. I mean, on both sides. I'm not saying it. I'm saying it for both parties involved. Okay? I mean, both need to be protected, right? So, and there needs to be clauses if there's some problems. You can part ways. That's why they pay the lawyers what they pay them. So, all right, it's going to wrap it up for this edition of the Auburn Blitz. We'll be back with you same time, same place tomorrow. Remember, our podcast every morning at 8 o'clock. Join us if you can on YouTube and Facebook. For Randy Lee, I'm Brett Purchase saying we've enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.